Hi, welcome everyone. Thank you again for joining today. Pretty exciting to see all of you joining with us. The core idea of the what we are doing today is to help you build a voice AI agent at the end of the day 7. And what we want to do is to share like what we have learned in building voice AI agent, plus build this community around of so many of you who here are domain expert that we can support each other on where we are getting stuck or getting right set of network traction. And the goal would be that at the end of the 7 day, you launch your product, not only on social media, but as a foolproof product on, let's say, Product Hunt or somewhere else. And while this is a 7 day course, treat it as a lifetime of membership that we are here to support you. We'll have a Discord channel and other things after 7 days as well to help you in your journey in building voice AI agent. So I'll start with some housekeeping stuff here. Mayank and I are hosting the session today. So a bit about me. I am Ajitesh, CEO of Tuftung AI. Prior to that, I was a product manager at Google Gemini team. Have been building in the voice AI agent for a year and a half now. Pretty excited to meet you, Mayank.
Hi guys, I'm Steven, co-founder of ThoughtSpot AI here. I've been working in the tech industry for a long time now, around 10, 11 years. I worked for Databricks, Meta, and ThoughtSpot in past, and really excited to teach you guys and as well as exchange ideas on how to build voice AI agents together.
Yeah, Mayank and I have got our hand burns as well, so we know what has not worked, what works. Would love to share our journey here. The basic idea of this is that it's a 7 day exercise. Today, we'll take some time to dive into the basics of voice AI agent, what is the tech stack behind it, plus what are some good characteristic of ideas in voice AI agent, where things will stick, and some ideas where you might want to have second thought. The second day, and we'll also help you today create the first draft of the agent so that you get an idea and then tinker around. Day 2 will focus on idea of context engineering, like how do you make this first draft to an agent in terms of its behavior. So adding right set of tools, how to prompt it in a way that it gets the required outcome. Day 3 will be taking this particular agent into the whole application. So we will provide you some technical choices on different stack possible, right from vibe coding with Lovable and other, or like going full-fledged hands-on coding. We'll pick one particular sort of stack, which will be more common between what we would learn from you, and we'll deep dive on it. On day 4, we will help you with that particular stack to get almost 80% ready. So idea of day 3 and 4 is, let's say you build an agent around AI tutor or a product manager coach. So in day 3 and 4, we will build the whole framework around it, that let's say there are 5 agents, you'll get the transcript, what will be the final output, what will the user experience like. And then we'll leave the day 5 and 6 for you to reach out to us. So we'll have our calendar open so you can book time with us or ping us on WhatsApp. But basic idea is that you tinker around, you take the next 20%, which generally is the most challenging part, but have something to launch on the day 7. So day 7, we will give you some time to demo. Working prototype or like your idea would be really helpful here. We will also encourage that day to talk about and launch it with the world. So we will have the community here support your launch. Plus, I would really encourage that you take a step further from there, that launch on Product Hunt. I'm sure there are a lot of you have unique story or unique ideas to tell, and I think Product Hunt is a good place to launch these agents and get the first early traction. So that's what will be our agenda. Happy to answer any questions about it. Today, in particular, we'll focus on first. We'll try to spend some time knowing you. So we'll do a one-on-one introduction. Then Mayank will jump into the voice AI tech stack, that how things have evolved from LLM that launched 2023, like at least the public known popular version, and then from here that voice AI agent has become so much popular. Then we'll discuss about what are some characteristics of good ideas, and we have some list of ideas that could inspire you. But feel free to bring your own ideas here. There is a Google Doc that has been floated in WhatsApp group, so that is what we'll adhere to. So most of the things that we'll discuss are there in the Google Doc. We also have a Discord, which will share the link here, and then the WhatsApp that you could join So even after the 7 days, you could use it as a resource to find us or ask questions and things like that. I will now hand over to Mayank to walk through the tech stack for voice agent. Mayank, can
Yeah, sure. Maybe you can move to the next slide. So by the way, today we are going to cover some basic theory, which would be about the building blocks of voice AI agents. And we have to go through the steps from the beginning. And beginning here means LLM models, which we are already familiar with. And before we start, yeah, it's good to know that a lot of folks in the audience here today are already hands-on with tech. They are software engineer or product manager or something around it which have an exposure to tech. So it might be boring for people who are fully hands-on, but still we should go through the parts so that we can think of the basic technologies which go into building AI agents. Uh, so the first is, of course, the LLM. LLM is stands for large language model. In effect, it's a system. In internal, it's a complex AI system. But before that, we never had a system built of any number of parts which could take a natural language input and could produce a natural language output where the output seems to be intelligent and coherent to the input. So that was the main innovation which happened. A couple of things to note in the LLM is that it is stateless. So every time you give it an input, it doesn't remember any of the past inputs or so unless you add it as well, that this is what happened in the past. So that is what the LLM is. It is what is behind ChatGPT, Gemini, and all of these chat interfaces which are being used every day by millions of users. So moving on to this word agents, I'm pretty sure this has been the word of 2025, most likely, that it's the year of agents and so on. So agent is something which takes this LLM as one unit or one fundamental building block and adds something called state or state management to it. And sort of it becomes intelligent and acts like an actual agent, which can take actions. So two things are important here. One is state, and the second is ability to take actions. And actions could be like, okay, you're talking to a chat GPT or something, and it can go and book a flight for you, or it can mark something on your calendar, and so on. And then one important pattern which has come up is the pattern of memory. So memory is a sort of state, but it's persisted or it's like long-term state. So if we give the agent the ability to sort of store certain parts of the conversation or certain interactions, and also give it ways to summarize and retrieve them on demand, then this whole picture together becomes a very powerful agent which can actually execute tasks, have memory, do correct reasoning, and so on. And like this art of making agents is, I think, very natural to come from the LLMs to agents, and we want to extend it to the idea of voice AI agents. So here we are like zooming into the middle part of the voice AI agent stack. And traditionally we had this thing, which is on the left. I'm sorry, the font is a bit smaller. So it's like a pipeline of three parts. First, the human speech is converted to text, which is called speech to text. And then we take this text through the same LLM model, and then we make it go through a text to speech model. So this STT and TTS, they had been there for a long time, but unfortunately, this whole paradigm doesn't work so well in terms that there is a latency between each of these components, as well as you lose certain things like how the connotation of the voice, whether the user was happy or sad, and various other nuances uh, which you which is there in the audio data. So like background noise, whether the user was talking to someone else. So for an interview scenario, if we lose the voice, then we might not be able to know whether you ask the same question to a partner which is sitting around you. Or in the case of meditation, it might be much more important to like figure out how the user is feeling, whether it's anxious or not. So on. So that's why there is a new kind of models which came around last year, or actually like to 2024 December, I believe, which are called real-time models. So they take the complexity of this STT LLM TTS pipeline and put it into one bigger building block, which is called real-time model. Some of these models are just a wrapper over these three building blocks, but the actual real-time models that we are talking about, they understand audio as small, like individual units of language. And the rest, and this is like the if you zoom inside the voice AI agent or voice AI stack, this is the main thing that we need to know. Otherwise, the agent paradigm still remains the same. So we covered like what is the paradigm of thinking in terms of taking a model and here a real-time model and then putting it into an agentic stack or building rest of the components. So here are like, this is what you need to know. Like in terms of LLM, we know that OpenAI, Google, and others have been the provider of these models. Then there have been some providers for speech to text and text to speech. And now this is like, we have two main model providers, OpenAI and Gemini, which provide the speech to speech models, and they are really good. And now what we would be learning throughout this 7-day exercise and what we would be doing is to actually take these models, especially the real-time ones, and we need to tame them to build our agents, and we need to infuse our domain knowledge for whatever we want to build. Over there are some dev platforms like Vapi, Retail, Boland, and we also have Tuftung AI, which takes this complexity of managing your audio speech, taking this data together, like pushing and pulling from the server and so on, and interacting with the models, integrating with tools. So this this builder platform side, infra side, is what we would go deeper in the next few sessions. And we'll talk about how to tame this voice models, build tools around it, build systems around it, and serve them into a nice application.
Yeah, so this is sort of a high-level overview of tech stack in building voice AI agent. Some of this will go deeper in the next section, but if there's any question here for Mayank, we could take it here. Okay, so we'll continue moving. Yes.
I'm happy to ask this question, offline also, because a lot of people seem to be tech-based in terms of their background. But can you tell me, how is the builder platform different from, let's say, a dev platform? I know it's a very dumb question, so please.
Actually, it's also a very relevant question to you and also the people who are not very hands-on tech. So the difference, I think there is a small word written there, NL, which stands for natural language. So
Right.
when you use these builder platforms, the dev platforms, then you need to write a lot of code, or you actually need to be a developer in order to build an application, a web app around it. So if you use Vapi or Retail and put some other pieces together, you would need to do a lot of work and understand code to a large extent. But what we are trying to say here with Tuftung AI is that we provide you a natural language way, which is more like you don't need an IDE, but you can, if you know about Cursor and Lovable, so we are more like Lovable, where product managers can build applications or prototype them. So we take away the complexity and the infrastructure cost of dealing with audio, video, streams, models, and so on. And you can deal with a very less amount of code. It's not no code per se, but definitely much lesser overhead.
Low code. Okay, got it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So we'll keep going. If there is more questions, feel free to put in the chat, and we'll take it at the end. So now the question is that in voice AI agent, like what is so exciting? So a lot of applications are coming in voice AI agents. One of the metrics that I heard is in the last couple of YC batches, 25 to 30% of the startups were about voice AI agent or part of it. And there are some reasons that voice AI has generally, for a long time, been the way we communicate, and even for people who don't want to write or have, are in a situation like driving another where they can't type, this becomes an easy way to get stuff done. It also has understanding, like it's still not human, but it can, because give a vibe of a human. People are open to sharing feeling, hesitations, and other. So that opens the room for a lot of different kind of use cases here. Then the adoption barrier to adoption is also lower here because you don't have to type. So in many of the cases, like the first interaction is easy, but after that, again, you have to retain the user. So those challenges still remains. Next, what we'll try to do is to help you come up with a good idea for voice AI agent for people here. So what we debated internally is what are good characteristic of a voice AI agent. So I'll go with a couple of ideas through a checklist that you could use when you are brainstorming, and we'll share some list with you that you can go through this checklist with. Is this particular checklist? So I'll take an example. So first example would be, let's say you are building an AI tutor for teaching math for a particular class. So in that case, the first criteria will be, is the practice valuable in this case? Number of times someone does that. So answer is yes. So in that case, it's a good thing. The second is it important to have 24/7 availability, which humans generally lack? In the math case, I would say likely, because maybe you need it just before the exam or when you are stuck. So the tick again for AI tutor for math. Does the feedback matter, like when you do wrong or when you do right? So in math case, again, it matters, like people want to learn and engage. And similar for AI interview agent, for example, right? Is there a peak demand? So in the case of a math tutor, likely near the exams, I would say there's a peak demand. Like a lot of people would have questions, doubts. Even if like throughout the year, there will be certain consistent demand. So then humans will have tough time sort of supplying to that demand if there is a peak to it. Does it require a lived experience? So no, I think teaching math does not require lived experience, at least in the early years. And the lived experience is somewhere, when I say it means when people needs to be motivated. Like if someone wants to come to me and say that, I want to be product manager, but I'm not getting the motivation. So I think a human has to only will be able to do that. It's possible. This is the path. Similarly, if someone is going through a tough time or dealing with grief, in all of these cases, lived experience or human empathy and all stand out. So it's very tough for voice AI agent to solve that use case. And then the last one is that, is it require autonomous high-stake decision making? So if I'm building an AI math tutor, likely not. Like it's a small theoretical frameworks that you would be just dealing with. So in a lot of cases, it takes the idea. I'll take another example of an idea and go through the same checklist. So let's say we are building a co-pilot or a voice AI agent for training surgeon, right, who are going to a surgery. So in that case, is the practice valuable here of conversation? Maybe in delivering the tough news, or easy news, but it's a small part of their role. Would 24 cross availability help? Yes, likely. Does feedback matter? Do matter? Is there a peak demand or limited supply? Likely, I would not say there is a peak demand. Maybe if there is an because doctors are limited, and maybe there how much surgery they do is also limited. Does it require a lived human experience? No. But does it require autonomous high stakes decisions? Likely yes, right? Like, will you use this kind of a scissor, or should I do now? Am I in a state to do the surgery or not? So likely this is a high autonomous decision making would be a big barrier to sort of building an agent for surgeon in that case. So this could be one of the ways in which you could be evaluating your area or whichever idea you have picked for here. So any question on this one, on this framework for selecting a good characteristic of idea? We can also take an example if you and go through it. Okay.
Sorry, I have a question, Ajitesh.
Yeah, go ahead.
So for any, I mean, of course, it's according to the use case, but I mean, is there a case where all these factors would be needed to be ticked yes, for example? I mean, just for example.
Yeah. So yeah, I think all does not have to be ticked, and in some ways, we are still in the early stage of voice AI agent, and that's the reason why, like, some of these, whatever is the cross here, are maybe 1 year, 2 year down the line. when things and the context and all of this becomes more available. Like the first use case for voice AI agent was call center, right? Like when someone is not available. So in that case, for example, 24/7 availability was the most important thing, even if feedback was not there. But one criteria was so big, so important that that use case was possible. So in some ways, whatever here is in green is a good thing for your business. And if that ticks, then it's a good idea. Otherwise, you need to do some research, like speak to customer, figure out if there is a narrower problem or a low stake problem that you can move towards.
Right. And just a quick follow-up question that, so it's right when I say that an AI agent is not necessarily an ideal or good agent if it covers all these points, for example, right? I mean, it's according to the use case. So it should differ from case to case, right?
It should differ case to case, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would add an asterisk that at this point of time in the technology curve of voice AI agents, maybe 1-2 years down the line, actually agents can do real things which requires human lived experiences.
Right. Yeah, like if you is 6 months back, if you go through the same checklist, there was a couple of other technical limitation. Like it used to take seconds for turn latency. So any case where there is a very low latency use case, likely you would not be using voice. Similarly, emotions in the voice was not that great. So any case where it has to do emotional selling and all, you would likely cross it off. So, but those have gone away in the last 6 months. So I think as technology evolves, some of this checklist will also change.
Right.
Priyal?
Thanks.
Thank you, Viraj.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, so I'm really sorry when we were introducing ourselves, I wasn't able to unmute myself somehow. So basically my question here was that I chose a personal brand consultant as an AI over here. So can you take an example, it as an example over here?
Brand consultant. So just for me to understand, so this is like if I go to Zara or
Personal brand consultant.
Personal brand consultant, and is it styling related, like, or is it personal brand? Oh, like my LinkedIn profile and positioning.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. So let's take that. So is practice valuable in that case? Like engagement, I think that might not be the most, I think average I'll rate there. Would 24/7 availability help? I think so, right? Like I'm posting on my LinkedIn now, or I'm doing something, likely in that case help. Does the feedback matter? I think feedback matters a lot in this case, right? How do I'm writing some things? Is there a peak demand and limited supply? So this depends. I don't have the market data, but if there is a niche, if there is an aspect, let's say a screener for brand consultant, that do I need a brand consultant or not, or sort of assistant? In that case, a lot of people might be applying, just checking with it. So there could be a peak demand. Does it require a lived human experience? That I'm not sure. I think a lot of brand consultants are not themselves the brand, right? Like they are likely basing it on some framework and other things. So I'll say that good there. Autonomous high stakes decisions. I think this is the tricky piece, right? Like if it tells you to post certain thing and which gets controversial, or position you in certain way, then it will be tricky. So I would say maybe a part of the process you would likely want the AI agent to take care of, let's say an assistant, but still have some very critical, crucial decision come to a human in some ways, in the case.
Okay.
But yeah, some of these I think do match. So from here on, I think it's in the gray area where customer input and all will matter in some ways.
So I can try it out, right?
Yeah, I should definitely try it out.
Okay. Thank you so much.
So some ideas to get inspired, and what I'll do is that we will give you, so we are almost near the end. I'll just quickly go through some of these ideas, and then we'll give. We want to end at 7:50, so we will give you some time to think through then. So professional development, like you can be making sales role play agent, that practicing cold call and other. Interview is one of the use case where a lot of box get ticked. People get high pain just before the interview. So anything you offer at that time would be helpful. Customer support is another area where a lot of time people are not happy. Also, there is an aspect of human empathy there. So it's a balance. For some brand, it might not work out. Any kind of training, product knowledge, and other, where currently it's one to many, like a coach cannot do 101 most likely. So training is helpful use case. There are a lot of creative ideas that we wrote here that you can just take. AI memoir, which is similar to journaling, someone said here, debate partner, language tutor, some parts of therapy, first data conversation coach, personalized news reader, get data from there. Some ideas of B2B here would be that, let's say you sell the exam coach to exam therapy kind of to schools. For mental health clinic, you sell therapy pre-screener or a mood pattern detector. You sell wedding toast practice to an event organizing company, or an elderly care daily check-in and all to the sort of hospitals and other caregivers. So these will be ideas where you'll be selling the agents to the businesses. So hopefully they inspire you to pick one. But yeah, happy to answer any question here. I think one exercise I wanted to do is that for people who have some ideas now, even let's say just a couple of ideas and you want to narrow down, so you can quickly go to Tough Tongue AI and create your first draft of the agent now. So we are almost near the time. So if you can do it later on as well, but I'll send the link here and will guide you that how can you create the first draft of agent right here. So the step one is that you go to this link, and step two is that you log in here. So do that once, and so I'll be also logging in. Just a moment. Sorry, I have some extra testing things on my account. So we'll just keep it very quick. Like first draft, I just want you guys to create. So you go to the create scenario here and you go to advanced, and here you can paste your idea. For example, create an AI agent that acts as my morning coach, which helps me to journal every day how my past day was and what I'm going to do today. So you can type something like this in natural language, and our agent, based on the best practices, creates the blueprint. So it will take a minute. So just follow along here. We'll give it a minute. And some of the things to notice here would be that what is the AI instruction that comes. So this is what the blueprint the agent gets to follow. And then we will cover in the next session, like what are the tools, how to make this instructions a lot better and add a few more things. But for now, today, we'll just let the agent create the first draft. So my first draft is there, which is daily morning coach, and I could go through the AI instruction, that what it is, how it will follow the instructions, and I'll hit create. So this creates my first agent that I can just interact, and we'll lead you in the next that how to tweak it and how you will interact with it.
I'm ready when you are. How are you feeling this morning? Did you have a restful night's sleep?
So I just stopped it. So I went through the last few portion very quick because we had limited time. But basically, what I want you to just create the first, go through some list of ideas, create the first draft of your agent that we'll be building in the next one. You could take the even day to finalize your idea and come up with, but just have the first draft ready before we meet tomorrow. We can also post this on the group. Sounds good. So we are concluding here, but I'm happy to, Mayank and I will be stay here. So if you have any question, we can answer for the next 10, 15 minutes. Yes, Vidya.
So when you mean the first draft, you mean the scenario creation on the Tough Tongue app, right? That's what you mean. That corresponds to the idea that we surfaced.
Right, yeah. So basically, because we don't know that it will behave almost as good as the idea, we'll do some context engineering in the next session. But at least you have the first version of ready today to play around.
Got it. Got it. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question? And you could ask questions about like tech stack that we covered, about voice AI agent, and ideas as well. Like if you want, you have questions around your idea, happy to answer that as well.
Yeah. Hi, Ajitesh. Just a quick question.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so I was just wondering, like, I'm not really acquainted with AI agents, and that's something I'm really exploring right now. So I just wanted to understand the tech stack behind this. Like, how does it really work? Like, if you could just give like a 2-3 minutes brief breakdown as to how you're actually working behind the scenes. I'd just love to know, that's all.
Right. So I can give, and then Mayank can chime in. So basically what we have done is there are 3 parts to an agent in our case. One is the create experience. So when you type the prompt there, behind the scene, we run an agent to convert into the right set of blueprint for our voice AI agent. So it takes, it has some best practices written, and it converts into the context for our voice AI agent, which can be either Gemini real time or OpenAI real time, or a cascade like text to speech and LLM between, and text and speech to text there. So that is the agent. And when I wrote it, it gave the prompt to it. We have also in the agent builder, if you see, have tools section. So whenever you enable a tool like let's say card or slide, we attach that tool. So we have written behind the scene the code for how that the tool actions and all will happen, and have done the engineering that what if this agent fails? So what will be the backup agent? How do we record the session that someone is doing? And then all of that we surface in the form of a very easy to use iframe that you can put in your application. So that a high level, that is what is happening. Mayank, if there is anything else you want to add.
I think that does cover it. There are some more things which we would go further maybe tomorrow, which is about how the agent can access tools and how it can work with memory.
Right. Thanks, guys. And the main model, the GPT model, is that like ChatGPT's AI model or Gemini? Just asking for like exploring. That's all.
Yeah. So we depends on the use case. So we have seen that Gemini is pretty great when it comes to multilingual and emotions and other, while OpenAI is really great when function calling and tools and other has been. The gap has been sort of reducing a lot. But yeah, so in depending on the use case, we prefer any particular model. I think the memory that Mayank said is one of the critical aspects that we'll touch in the next, like Sam Altman and a lot of people have said that next few years is about memory. So in all of the agents that you are building, that will be also one critical piece that when you interact with next time, how does it remember and those things.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, any other question? Yes, we'll share the deck also in the WhatsApp group. so that you can take a look at it and also shortlist. Sounds great then. Thank you so much everyone for joining. Have a good rest of your day. Happy New Year again. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow, and in between, feel free to ping us.
Thanks, Ajitesh. Thanks, Mayank.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Everyone. Well, thank you so much, Ajitesh and Mayank.
Cheers,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.